What is up? Money Mondays. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Money Mondays.
Money Mondays.
Yep, Money
Okay.
Mondays. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are giving away $300. Is that right?
$300. We are giving away $300 tonight on Money Mondays.
So that means we're drawing three names.
1, 2, 3.
$300. You could be the winner. What are we talking about this week?
Oh, we have a special guest this
Okay.
week.
Okay,
Do you want to know who it is?
I do.
Do you guys want to know who it is?
Who it's going to be?
This week, we have Megan Banker joining us to talk to you guys about credit cards. Why? Not Megan.
Not Megan Baker.
Baker.
From
So
Dallas Park.
Dallas Park
But
sends us emails.
Megan
Baker.
all the way from Portland, Oregon. Share with you guys all kinds of tips on credit cards.
Yes,
now,
because everybody asks her about credit cards.
Everybody wants to know.
Yeah, everybody wants to know.
Especially this time of year, you guys are doubling down on your spending, and everybody wants to know, how do I maximize my credit card points?
Right.
And how do I get the most
everybody
out
always
of my
says,
credit
what
cards
credit card should I get
for business?
And just what credit card should I get?
Well, we've been learning a lot about this. I'm excited for her to share what you should be doing, questions you should be asking, how to determine which card's going to be best for you, all of the really, really great things coming your way. What's going on with the people?
The people are saying hello. We've got quite a few people on right now because they all want to win $300. They may want to know about credit card strategy, or they may just like hanging out with their friends on a Monday night.
All right, everybody, you know what to do. You got to make sure that you hit that subscribe button on that YouTube channel, and you got to share it. You got to share this feed with your friend. Put it on your social media feeds. Tell everybody it's just absolutely going bananas here on Money Monday.
So the real question is, who do you think is behind the camera tonight with all of these sound effects?
Tristan.
I knew you were going to say that. What does everybody else think it is?
Yeah, everybody put who you think is producing tonight.
I was asking them.
Who do you think is producing tonight? Put it in the chat. Let's see your thoughts. Who do you think is producing? Oh, gosh.
Wow. Bailey.
Oh,
We got a Bailey up in there. We got a
bro.
James, Josh. All right, we're getting there. Nobody said Tristan. Oh, there's some twisties. Oh, okay. Now
all the
it took a
twisties
second.
are
It took a second, and now everybody thinks it's Tristan.
All right.
Mr.
Producer, reveal yourself.
James.
What's happening? I gave a little hint with the Eagles chant.
There you go. A couple people knew it was you. A couple people. That's James.
Excited for tonight's Money Monday. So
yes, James, he's going to be drawing three names here in just a little bit. Do you have the canasta ready to go?
I've got it ready to go.
It's go ready. Canasta. We got the canasta right there next to James. Hey, every single name of every single member who is in Black Diamond Club, now currently sitting at 711 names inside the canasta. All you got to do is go to www.blackdiamondclub.com. That's how you can join the Black Diamond Club. And if you love Money Mondays, imagine on getting a podcast every Monday, hanging out with us on Facebook and learning all kinds of really cool stuff. Hey, speaking of that, I don't know if we have a curtain for this, but Black Diamond Club Sales Matters Workshop coming up March 24th and 25th, Austin, Texas. We're descending on Sheraton Austin Hotel at the Capitol. Someone was just, and by the way, that says at Cap Tayal.
It doesn't really go back.
At the Cap Tayal.
Who did that?
Sheraton Austin Hotel.
We are descending to the Cap Tayal.
We're going to be down at the Cap Tayal.
You coming to the Cap
Tayal,
That's right. If you don't know, now you know.
Cap Tayal. Yeah. We're coming to the Cap Tayal. But here's the deal. You got to be on the wait list. Make sure you jump on the wait list. If somebody could share Josh, maybe Josh will throw the link to the wait list up in the chat. You got to be on the wait list or your chances of getting tickets is extremely low. Here's what happens. We announce a wait list. We're already rolling out. So by the way, 25 person increments. The first 25 people have already bought their tickets up. Quest 7, which is our premier group in Black Diamond Club,
bought their
they've
tickets
already
up.
bought their tickets. We're over 100 tickets sold,
Yep.
and we're only 25 people into the wait list. And the wait list had
So
over
this is
300
shaping up to
people
be
on
our
it.
biggest workshop to date.
It's going to be our biggest workshop to date. So you've got to be on the wait list in order to get your tickets. Everybody's paying attention to their inboxes. Like, hey, when is it going to be my turn to get in on my tickets? We've got people already posting in the chat. We got ours
Look
today.
They got theirs
got mine
today. Yeah.
You got to be on that wait list. 50 people. Only 50 people deep in the wait list. Tickets are going fast. If you don't believe us, jump in that chat. Look and see how many people are already grabbing up their tickets. When it's your turn on the wait list, you have the opportunity
48 hours, right?
48 hours
to
and you have
purchase.
the opportunity to purchase up to 4 tickets.
Yep.
So if you're bringing
48 hours, 4
networking
tickets, you better go.
partners, staff, make sure that you grab those
Oh
tickets.
yeah, everybody's saying they snagged theirs today. So I actually don't know how many tickets we're up to.
Well, I mean, if we're just
we've been busy
these,
all day. We've been on calls. I don't know. Maybe Luke's on here. Somebody, Josh, that has a more accurate count. We might be halfway sold out already.
Oh, and look at there's Bridget Walsh. We got to see the Walshes.
Yeah.
This past weekend, I got to hang out playing golf with Bill.
Yeah.
And then I bashed him right on the head.
Oh boy.
So a little while ago, Megan at our Phoenix workshop, she had a small head injury, but Bill Walsh.
Yeah. But she did that to herself.
She did to herself.
It was an accident.
She hurt her own head. But Bill
Not
Walsh,
this time.
I cracked Bill Walsh on the head with a plate. It bashed open his head. It was
I feel like it was a collaborative effort because the plate was coming in and he was bending down at the same time. It was one of those. Yeah, he was trying to go down, grab his Stanley. He was bending down. You were passing the plate.
He was bending to pick it up.
Yeah,
I was picking up a plate. Bang! And it just like put a perfect gash right on his head. Now.
Yep. And then Luke gave him a Band-Aid.
We put a Band-Aid on it.
I think he got a Band-Aid.
He's a hockey player, so he is like, I've
probably used to that.
I've been hit in the head before. That was nothing, but I got to tell you, poor Bridget. It was Bridget's birthday.
I know.
By the way, for her birthday, we bashed his head, bashed your husband's head with a plate.
Made for fun photos.
Sorry, Bridget. But it was great to see the Walshes, who, by the way, they're just absolutely rocking it, killing it in Pittsburgh. So if you're ever in the Pittsburgh area, you want to go and see the Walshes if you want to know what a great chiropractic office looks like.
Yeah. So I have to say, because one of the things that you and I have been talking about is where are we going to go with this idea of Money Mondays, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Are we going to talk about this? So here's the thing I want to say. For the longest time, we were talking about the economy, and I thought that this was super interesting and powerful concept because what we were doing was in an effort to prepare people for what was coming down the line as far as the economy was concerned. So as you know, Shawn and I are always watching the news. We're reading, tons of information. We read blogs, we read financial reports to make sure that we can disseminate that information to you to get you prepared for this like economic shift, right? This recession that's going to so-called happen. Well, we've been saying for a long time that we were already in it. So I got to tell you, everything that I'm reading, they already know. They're just like waiting. Everybody is saying we're already in a recession. So we feel like you guys are pretty prepared. And honestly, I don't think
that's it. That's over.
No. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm not ending Money Mondays. I want to know what the people want. But here's what I want to say.
Because you're a woman of the people.
I'm the woman of the people.
All right. Let's see.
This is not what I said. This is what you said.
You're the people's champ.
I'm the people's champ. But here's the deal. Everybody out there should feel really good about what's going to happen because it's already happening.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like I feel like you don't need to prepare for something that you're already working and living through. I know a lot of people out there are getting worried. They're like, where are my clients going to spend their money? I'm starting to see people tighten down. Like you don't have to worry about not making it through the recession because you're already making it through the recession. So there's no reason for us to keep coming on here and saying, here's how you prepare. No, hold on. I'm going to cancel you. I am going to cancel you if you keep interrupting me.
Is this the last one?
No. So what I want to know is what do they want us to talk about?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I want to know. What would you want Shawn and Lacey to talk about on Mondays if we weren't prepping for what already exists?
Casey Weirheim's on here.
Yeah.
Another December to Remember participant. I think he won the golf tournament.
You think so?
Yeah. They don't want you to talk about anything.
Clearly. Look at Linda. Listen.
Credit card strategies for new business would be awesome.
Okay.
Well,
oh my gosh.
Well, how about that?
How about that? Let's
today.
go, Janine. That was you know what? Ask and you shall receive. Okay. I think we should do that. You think we should do it now?
Redemption culture.
Oh.
Building business credit.
Ooh. Okay. We can get Josh back on. Yeah.
We can also
cancel culture. We can talk about cancel culture.
We
got a lot of business credit experts. We can talk about cancel culture, personal brand. Shank Dilly canceled. Yeah, pretty much.
How do I get money to build my salon in the backyard? We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Raising capital.
Okay, just talk money. All right. We're getting there. People are starting to say some things. Okay, so you do want us to talk versus not.
Title of this one is The Most Important Tips for Strategic Business Planning. Go.
That's what we're bringing Megan on for. We think that you should talk about credit cards. Yeah, that was what we thought.
We didn't work out how we're doing that though. Am I going off and then you're talking to Megan?
Sure, bye. Shawn is getting canceled tonight.
This is very Megan. You get my microphone too.
Wow, she gets the Shank Dilly. Okay, right. All right, everybody. Listen, the reason that we thought this was so important is number one, Shawn and I.
Oh, hey.
There she is.
I got Shawn's microphone and everything.
So I feel like one of the things that everybody knows you for is your credit card strategies, your obsession with credit cards. They may not know about your credit card Excel spreadsheet, which is a whole nother conversation. It's dialed. It's
beautiful.
I want you to know that Megan has done so much research on credit cards, and she's got this dialed into such a strategy that if you were to go in her wallet right now in this very moment and pulled out her card, she has them labeled as to how you actually utilize them and spend. So these credit cards are for restaurants.
It's a little neurotic.
These are for luxury goods. This is for travel. So yeah, James, do that again because that's yep.
I mean, that's an easy tip right there. If you have credit cards in your wallet, put little labels on them and it'll say like 2x grocery, 1x whatever, depending on
it's easy to forget.
It is, especially if you have a partner who doesn't care as much about it. My husband's credit cards are also all labeled. So if you have a partner who gives zero craps about credit cards, it's nice to have the label on there so that they know where to spend it.
Yeah. And I think it's super important because a lot of us, we just choose credit cards based off of like what our friends had or who's referred us or other people that are like, I love this credit card because it has this benefit. I mean, I remember when we went for the Amex Platinum business card, one of the reasons was for some of the benefits that we'd heard about, the concierge services, the flight credits. And we're like, this fits our lifestyle, so we're just going to choose
also,
it.
It just feels bougie.
It does feel a little bougie to have a metal card. Yeah. I mean, you can't deny that. But literally, it was just like shot in the dark. So I know that people ask all the time, they say, Megan, what's the best business credit card that I should get?
Yeah. I mean, even you guys today, you were like, hey, can you come on and talk about like the best card to get? Which is a question that I get often. And the answer to that is it's not an easy answer. There's not a one answer to what's the best card because it really depends on how you spend your money. And so that's what I told you was, well, I can't just come on and say, these are the 3 best cards you can get.
So don't ask that question. That's the wrong question to ask. We say that most of the time you can't find solutions because you're asking the wrong questions.
Yeah,
so what do I ask you?
Yeah. So the right questions to ask are, how do you spend your money, especially in your business? How are you spending it in your personal life? And then also, what do you want the credit card to do for you? Do you want it to give you cash back? Do you want to be able to use those points for travel, which is what I do? That's how I was able to take a $20,000 flight for $200 earlier this year. So those are kind of the 2 main questions is, how do you spend your money and what are your goals with the rewards from the credit card? And then from that, there's also what's your tolerance when it comes to annual fees or putting spend on the card?
Wait. Okay. So let's go back real quick because how do you spend your money? Like when I'm thinking about business, like when I'm like, oh, how do I spend my money? And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know. I put a lot of travel on my business card.
So travel is a big
like what are some categories? Yeah.
Another big one, especially the way that people do, marketing now would be ad spend? Are you spending a lot of money on ads? Are you spending a lot of money on different streaming things, subscriptions? There are cards that will give you more rewards for things like streaming services like Sonos, Spotify, things that you use in your business on a daily basis. Some cards will give you more points for things like Comcast, that type of stuff. So different business expenses you can get credit cards that will give you more points for that. So that's kind of when I do a deep dive with someone, those are the questions I'm asking is what are the categories that you're spending?
So what are you guys spending your money on? I have a couple people saying they're spending money on coffee and lunches or family dinner. So
having
food.
a card that gets good rewards on food, on restaurants, on dining. Some cards even give you more spend on things like Instacart when you're doing like grocery delivery. So each card kind of has its own little like
nuances, almost point.
Yeah, that's why I have my spreadsheet, because it tells me exactly what the card is for and where to use it. So I put in a spreadsheet, this is what the card is used for, this is what I'm going to use it for, this is what the points are going to give me, and then what do I do with those points once you get them? That's kind of that next step. Is okay, now I have 1 million points. How do I deal with that?
Like in particular for me, like
somebody I know who has 1 million Amex.
Let's just use me as an example so you guys can see the process. So in my business, I would say that the top things that we spend money on when we get our little reports is travel and food. Probably those are the two things, because we travel, and then hotels, because we do a lot of our events and spend a lot of money at hotels. Those are the top 3 things I spend my money on. But because that's the nature of my business, I typically don't cash my points in for airlines or flights or anything like that, or stays. I actually cash my points in to buy furniture for my homes. Right? So like listening to that, what would you
Well,
what would
for
you
you
begin
guys
to say?
specifically, I know that you use your Amex Platinum for pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Oh, sorry.
They're saying that it's the microphone needs to be closer.
It's Sean's problem.
Just pull it in. Yeah.
We good? I don't want to be shouting at you either.
No.
But I also know that you guys use your Amex for pretty much everything.
Right.
And with your Amex, you're only going to be getting 1x points on things that aren't travel. So you should be using a different card that's going to get you more points on food and dining, which could be even the Amex Gold. You're going to get 4x points.
So I would downgrade?
It's not a downgrade if you're using it to get more points. Because you can have both. You can have an Amex Gold and an Amex Platinum. You can do the Amex Rose Gold. You can have all of them.
So they all have different purposes.
So it's not necessarily a downgrade. It's saying this category serves me better than this category. So that's why I'm going to use this card over that card. A lot of people don't want to have 18 different credit cards to manage. Totally understandable. I went a little bit
But
overboard.
if you're a good steward of your money and you actually are like, man, listen, instead of just spending out of my bank account, I actually want my money to work for me.
Yeah, it's actually painful when people are using their debit card for things.
No, don't do that. In 2023, don't use your debit card. Like, please do not use your debit card for purchases.
Not only are you not getting the benefits of using a credit card when you're using your debit card, but it also doesn't protect your purchases. And when you're in business, if you're using your debit card to buy things, those purchases aren't going to be protected by that debit card because it's coming straight out of your bank account.
Yes.
If you use a credit card, the purchases are protected by the bank that you're using the credit card for. It's also a lot easier if someone steals that to say, hey, this has been stolen. If someone steals your debit card and spends all your cash, that's a problem.
And don't a lot of credit cards like actually have like benefits in them? Like if you travel, like, so I know that if I have flights and I travel with my Amex Platinum card, like if I lost my luggage, there's actually luggage credits in my card. Right?
And if you're using a travel card like the Amex, if your flight gets canceled because of weather, the airline's not going to do anything for you. I experienced this yesterday.
Yeah.
But if you have a credit card with travel protection and your flight gets canceled because of weather, your credit card will protect you for that. So they'll pay for your hotel and your food and all that. You have to file a claim. It's kind of a mess, but at least it's covered versus the airline that's going to tell you, well, it was weather out of our hands. We can't do anything for you. So that's where having a credit card.
Thanks, James.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. No, people are saying that they have a question. Dr. Brian McCarley says, can the points be combined through Amex for different card levels? So and you talk about this all the time, utilizing your points for other things.
Yeah. So this is another one of my favorite kind of misconceptions. If you're using something like Amex or Chase, those point families are called transferable point families. What that means is you can transfer the points from the card directly to an airline, directly to a hotel, versus what a lot of people do. This is probably one of the most like number one mistakes that people do is they use those points through the Amex travel portal or the Chase travel portal. So what happens then is, let's say you book a hotel on the Amex travel portal because you want to get the 5X points
Right.
on the Amex card.
Right.
So you go, you book your hotel, you go to the hotel and they say, oh, sorry, I can't find your reservation. It happens. Amex is going to say, well, that's the hotel's fault. And the hotel's going to say, well, you booked it through Amex.
So it's
that's
Amex's fault. Right.
And what these companies are doing, Amex, Chase, Capital One, they are white labeling Expedia. So they're actually making the reservation for you on Expedia.
Oh, God. Isn't that bad?
So it's a third party reservation.
So don't do that, right?
So don't do that. It's also a lot of times it's also a lot cheaper.
Good
For example, with this Emirates flight that I took, it was a $20,000 flight. If I would have paid using the Chase portal or the Amex portal, those are usually 1 cent per point. So it would have been around 2 million points for me to take this flight if I booked it through the portal. So instead, I looked it up on the Emirates website itself. I set up a free account with Emirates, like a free frequent traveler account. And I looked up how many points it would be through Emirates. Sky Miles is their program. And it was 195,000 points instead of 2 million. So I transferred 195,000 points from Chase to Emirates. It's an instant transfer, and then booked it directly through Emirates. And then my flight was directly with the airline. So if something went wrong with the flight, Emirates would have fixed it for me versus me having to call Chase having to call
So
Emirates.
194,000 points, if you were only getting 1X on every single purchase, I mean, do you spend that much in your business over the course of the year? And if you do, you could have had a $20,000 flight if you utilized it correctly. So you got to ask yourself, like, are my dollars that I spend in my business going as far as they could be, right? Because if you're using a debit card, they're absolutely not.
So
and that's ludicrous.
My goal with my credit card strategy is to be at the very least, so for just random purchases that don't have a category, to be getting 1.5x points. So I have a card that gets 1.5 on everything. And that's the card that I use when I have random purchases. Otherwise, I'm getting 2x, 3x, 5x on different categories depending on what I'm spending.
So that's the biggest thing I think your takeaway from tonight is, number one, do you have a credit card for your business, even for your personal life? I mean, again, I think that's just as important. Number two, then you have to ask yourself, is it the right card for the way that I want to spend my points and the way that I spend my money? And I think that's really important.
I helped Trey get his flights to pay.
See, I love it, because I think that, like, a lot of people, they just go in and, like I said, they're just like getting cards based off of what everybody else around them has, and that's not necessarily beneficial. And then lastly, like, am I willing to spend the fees that are associated with that card? Because I feel like for me, the Amex Platinum card, the fees are a little bit high, but
$6.95. It's a platinum card.
We put so much money through there that it makes sense for us to have that card with all the benefits.
Also, with some of those cards that have the premium fees, you're also getting some of that money back. With Amex, you're getting a $200 travel credit. You're getting a bunch of other little credit, the $200 Dill credit that I had posted about in the Facebook group. So you're recouping some of that money. And then my other kind of advice when it comes to the annual fees, a lot of times the cards are going to give you a sign-up bonus. So for the Amex Platinum, for example, you get 120 to 150, depending on your link, 120,000 points after you spend $15,000 in 3 months.
Yes.
For a new business owner, that seems like a lot of money. For a seasoned one, maybe not so much.
Right.
So an advice that I gave to another member before was plan when you apply for the card for when you have a big spend. She was like, I don't have a big spend coming up for another 6 months, but then I'm going to have a huge XYZ bill.
Yeah.
And I said, that's when you should apply for the card. When you have a big bill coming up, I get excited. Like, we have a $3,000 car bill, and I'm like, new
that's
awesome.
Time. More points too. Yeah.
So my husband loves it. So that is another piece of advice too, is look at what that minimum spend is going to be and say, can I make that? Because you don't want to be overspending. That's the biggest problem with credit cards, is people say, oh, I need to make this $4,000 spend, so I'm going to manufacture this and come up with all sorts of things to buy.
Yeah.
If you strategize it with, I'm going to use credit cards to pay for things I'm already spending money on, not I'm going to spend more money to get these credit card points.
Yeah.
That's the kind of that nuance there that a lot of people get into.
Okay, I have 2 super random questions because I saw that Skip was on here asking about what's the best card for fashion purchases. So like luxury purchases. So I have a 2-parter for this. So number 1, is there a best card for this? But number 2, how does it compare? Because when I go to Saks, all the time they're trying to sell me their card and I spend enough money there. I sometimes wonder, would I be better off having a Saks card versus my Capital One card, because I mostly purchase at that store. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that it's going to depend really. If you go to the internet, they're going to say store cards are bad.
Right.
They're not going to do a whole lot for you
unless
you're spending a ton of money there. And it also goes back to how do you want those points to work for you? Do you want to spend a bunch of money at Saks so that you get free Saks credit to buy more things?
Yeah.
Or you want to take all the money that you're already spending at Saks and turn it into a vacation?
More things at Saks.
Then get the Saks card.
Okay.
But if you want your Saks things to get you a Maldives vacation, then you should be using a card.
But like for me, I have so many unused points already with my airline, with my Marriott.
So for you, I would say get the Saks. It's going to make you the happiest.
See, it is customized. Okay, next thing. And I know that this is a misconception, and Josh is on here so we can have him confirm. A lot of people get nervous about opening so many credit cards because they think it's going to negatively impact their credit. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I know Josh is going to have things to say about that too. And he's definitely your man if you're trying to fix your credit. Actually, before the pandemic, so I think 2019-ish, my credit was probably around like 580.
Oh, wow.
Pretty low. I mean, going through school, all the things. There's a bunch of people that have been in this position. So I spent the pandemic improving my credit, and I moved it up almost 200 points. I think I'm like in the right around 800 now.
Nice.
And I have 12 more credit cards than I did at the beginning of the pandemic. So it is definitely a misconception that the more cards you have, the lower your credit's going to be. Your credit score is determined by a bunch of different factors, and the length of time is a decent one. The biggest one is your debt to credit ratio. So how much debt do you have access to and how much are you using? If you have one credit card that's maxed out, your debt to credit ratio is 100%.
And that actually impacts your credit more than if you had 12.
I think that's like 60% of your credit.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
When you
Josh,
do
you on here?
when you do apply for a credit card, when you do get that new card, it does dip your score for a few weeks, but then it recovers because now you have access to more credit and you have more accounts. So like number of accounts, average age of your accounts, which is also why you should never close a card unless it has a high fee that you're not paying.
Right.
So if you have a no fee card that you just don't use,
leave it open.
Just leave it open and leave it in your wallet somewhere. Because if you close that card, you've now reduced your debt to credit ratio.
Yep.
So that's another big
So don't be scared.
Yeah.
2023, figure out again what card is best for you, what strategy you want to take. And hey, by just opening a credit card, we may just right now, tonight on Money Mondays, got you a free vacation.
Yeah. And you can always message me about it. I do these little consults with people all the time. Lacey's now dead. I'm taking over. Money Monday. Here we are.
I got my twisty cough. I'm sorry.
But I was really scared about credit for a long time. I think a lot of us grew up with parents that didn't have to deal with credit. Yep. So the advice was credit cards are evil. Don't use them. They're for emergencies only.
Right.
And really, they're just another tool, just like cash is a tool. They're just another tool to get you what you want. So you have to decide for yourself what your goals are and find the best tool for you.
I love it. So work on your credit. And on that note, we may have got you a free vacation. Maybe we got you free furniture like I do for my house.
It's furnished with credit card points.
This house that we were sitting, this very couch that we were sitting on right now is credit card points. But pretty much our whole house in Naples, Florida, I bought with credit. Megan knows I bought with credit card points. I just had stacked them all up and I cashed them all out and utilized them for furniture in my home, which was great because I also felt like I could get whatever I wanted and it felt free, right?
It does. It feels free. It's already money you're spending.
Free. When things feel free, they feel great. So get yourself some credit cards. Okay, on that note, let's see if we can give away some free money on Money Mondays. Cool. James, where are you at?
What's happening?
No. We're closing it out right now. Okay, I love it. People are on here. Maximize your cash. People are excited. Everybody wants you to do a class on this. You need to make a course.
I'm doing a class on it, friends. It's coming.
It's a work in progress. This is her side hustle.
My new employers are keeping me busy.
That's right. I know. Sorry. Sorry. So maybe a little delayed. We might be overworking her. Who
Maybe
knows?
a little money matters
But
situation.
look it, we might be overworking her, but you got free insight before the course even comes out right now because you're on Money Mondays.
There
You
it
heard
is.
it here
Right.
first.
That would have been a great time for the
You heard it
little
here
cha-ching.
first. Yeah, cha-ching. Cha-ching me.
Late on that.
We'll manually do it since James is being a little slow over there. So, all right, James. All right, what do we got? We're pulling 3 names, James.
3 names tonight.
How fun being on this side.
Let's see.
The anticipation.
Oh, Bridget's asking, Megan, how can we follow you? You guys can follow her on Instagram.
Follow me on Instagram.
Drop your Instagram
I
handle.
recently rebranded. It's my name now. Megan.banker.
Oh, I didn't notice
I did.
that.
I rebranded right to my name.
Oh.
Also Facebook, you can send me a message. Pretty easy to reach.
There you go.
Megan.banker.
Perfect.
All right. Let me get my my countdown timer.
Countdown's up.
Oh,
Who's it gonna be?
who you got? Who you got? Hold
Here
the
we
name.
go.
Hold the name.
We have, okay. Might have to help me out with the how to say this, but we've got. Can you see that?
No.
Absolutely
You're going to have to
not.
go for it. You're going to have to
Just
figure
go
it
for
out.
it.
Go.
Man.
Give it your best shot. Hit me with your best shot.
Shane Lutgen. Shane. I want to make sure I say it right.
There it
There we go.
is.
Give him enough time.
Lutgen? That's how I'd say it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's Shane Lutgen. I think he's in Florida with me, too.
All right.
You know, if Shane is on here, we should definitely have one because you said that name for 10 seconds before you even started the timer.
At least 10 to
Like, I
15
think- I
seconds
feel like-
extra.
I wanted to make sure I said it
Megan
right.
Banker.
There you go. Make bank with banker.
Okay, that's pretty clever,
My whole
Travis.
joke, my whole life.
Shane, are you on? Yo, Shane.
No. No Shane.
Oh, Shane.
With extra time.
It's not Shane Bo, it's Shane No.
Extra time and everything.
I know. Sorry.
Shane, no.
All right. So that means because Shane was not here on Money Mondays learning about credit cards and how to get a free vacation or how to get free
Not for
furniture
Shane.
or how to get free Saks. Not for Shane.
Free sex.
Yeah.
Free sex.
No, Saks Fifth Avenue.
We're gonna work on
YouTube
YouTube pronunciation.
Saks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Golly gee. We're pulling another name on that note. James.
Course on that coming next.
We have Chris Arensman.
Lorenz.
All right, Chris. There we go. We got the timer up. Chris, are you on? Chris with a K. Chris Arensman. Chris.
Chris.
Where are you at, Chris? Oh, you meant to say Jake Klaus. I love it. Yes.
That's what I meant.
I know.
Chris,
Come
where
on,
you at?
Chris. Somebody needs to show up. Somebody won last week.
Chris.
That means somebody can win this week. That means somebody can win next week. Or that means we're just going to keep racking up the money
Racking it
until
up.
somebody wins a lot. I'd like to
They can
see
buy
that
their own
again.
vacation.
Then they can buy their own
Yes.
vacation. Yeah.
Make me for
Or
free
you can
advice.
just use the money you earned on Money Mondays to pay for whatever credit card fee you want.
There you go.
Any
Yes.
annual fee. Yeah, there we go. Oh, sorry, Chris. Chris Collins is here. It's kind of close.
You mispronounced Erica. It was kind of like Chris Erica.
It was like
Yeah.
Crerica.
That's why Lacey and I can't do the call every week.
All right. All right. We got one name left.
One last name. Here we go.
One last name. All right. Heidi Smith. All right, Heidi.
Smith.
Heidi, you've
feeling
got
good about this one.
I feel like this is a good one. Yes.
Heidi Smith, are you here? Are you in the building?
So many. Heidi. You know, if Heidi doesn't show up today, do you know what that means for each and every one of you?
$400.
Heidi hasn't said hi. Heidi, hi. Heidi, oh. Heidi, no money.
I didn't know.
We've been drinking a lot of coffee
Heidi.
all day.
We have been working
Man.
since very early. Yes, and we've got very good coffee brought by Megan. Thank you very much.
Portland coffee.
Using it in the new Eura.
Is that how you say it?
but that's what we were told. You're
The new
because
espresso machine.
my
Yeah,
coffee
I saw
machine
that.
did break. Yeah, my coffee machine broke, and I had no coffee for 2 days.
It's real fancy.
This was not a nice Lacey. Maybe that's why I'm sick. I deprived my body of caffeine for 2 straight days, and now I cough. So Heidi was not here. Chris was not here. Shane was not here. But that could be your opportunity next week to learn more from us. And again, hey, I asked you, what do people want? I want to know what the people want. Tell us what you want to hear about. Because again, we're not here to prepare you about the recession that you're already experiencing and living through and doing well through. We're here to move you forward in whatever it is that you need. So let us know so that next week on Money Mondays, we drop some knowledge. We can
I will
drop
not be
some
here,
bombs,
but
Megan
Shawn
not
will be back.
here. Shawn will be back in the seat next to his mic, and we'll give you whatever it is that you need. So thank you, everyone, for joining us on Money Mondays, and we hope that you drop whatever credit card that you decided to get and tag Megan and let us know how
before
it
you
goes.
get it, send me a message so I can send you a referral link.
Yeah, there you go. That's even better. I love that.
I'll turn this into points for me. It's
Yeah.
points for everybody.
Points
We're all winners
You
here.
get some points. You get some points. Y'all get some points. Go get your points. Increase your credit score. Get free things. And you heard it here first on Money Mondays.